Hey guys, this is Tony from Digital Radio Marketing. In this video, I want to set the stage for us to have a conversation about how to improve site speed. So there are so many tools out there you can use, and the tool that I like to use is webpagetest.org. And as you can see right here on the screen, this is the test result of one of my websites. And one of the common questions I get is, how do you use these numbers to guide me to actually help my websites to load faster? So here I'm going to use a bouncy castle analogy to explain what each of these numbers mean and how you can use them. So imagine that there is a track full of bouncy castle boxes, and we're gonna call this track web server, and the files, website files are basically these boxes. Then there's this guy who's flexing his muscle on the field, getting ready to open the box and pump the bouncy castle. So this is the web browser, and the bouncy castle itself is the website. And of course, we have a small kid here right in front of the website, ready to use it, to play with it. Now, when the browser sees a user, obviously when a user load up a browser and type in a URL, the web browser will tell the track, say, hey, we got a customer here, I need to pump the bouncy castle. And the guy on the track will say, hey, yeah, here he comes. So that's what the first byte is, how fast that response from the web server saying, hey, I got a request. That's the first byte. So if you want to improve the first byte, if there's a problem with it, it's a web server problem. So you need to contact your hosting company or choose a good hosting company to improve that if you have a first byte problem. Then obviously, once the track gets that request, it will start sending the files. Now, the files, imagine, in the box, you can package in different ways, right? You can package scissors, pumps in one box. You can package bouncy castle, components in another box, and then, some non-critical bouncy castle accessory items in another box. So as you know, there are so many different kinds of websites out there. So you can package the boxes in different ways. And this is where the loading time and the start render time comes into play. So imagine if the web browser, the guy who's flexing the muscle, ready to open the box and pump the bouncy castle, gets, let's say, a non-critical, like this flag, okay, of the bouncy castle first. He's gonna open the box, and then he'll be like, what am I supposed to do with this? I need, why don't you send me scissors? Why don't you send me something that I can cut open the box faster? Why don't you send me pump first? Why are you sending me this non-critical part? I can't do anything about it. So that kind of explains, why some websites load faster than the others, because, you can configure the files in a way that the browser gets what's important first, rather than something that, is not important. And so the web browser guy can open the boxes faster, can start pumping up the bouncy castle. So the users don't get bored, because until that bouncy castle structure is there, user doesn't see anything, right? And that's where the start render time comes in. So the load time is essentially, all these boxes gets to the web browser and he opens it up and start loading it, okay, start pumping it, building it. Users don't care about that. In a sense, if there's nothing to look at, user is gonna get frustrated. And the idea here is you want to make your website start render fast, not necessarily the load time faster, because there are websites that let's say, JavaScript based websites, they have a very small files, okay? So those sites can load within 2 to 3 seconds. But the problem is web browser needs to render it, to process those files so that user will see something. So even though the load time is 3 seconds, if the render time is 5 seconds, it really defeats the idea of making the website faster. if you see what I mean. So what you want to concentrate on really is the start render time. But of course, that start render time depends on the way the files are structured, depends on which file is getting delivered first, things like that. And so that conversation gets really technical, and we'll do that in other videos. But here I just want to set the stage of, okay, exactly which number should I look at and what do they mean? So you can see, if you use browser cache well, the repeat view will normally gets a little bit, or ideally a lot smaller, because when after the user visits once, some of the components should get cached. So the next time when the user visits again or browsing a second page on the same website, you don't need to load the entire files. So the web page will ideally will load much faster, and of course the render time will drop substantially as well. So that's why you want to use cache, browser cache. There are different kind of cache that you can do to make the website faster. And then fully loaded, so you can structure your files, structure the rendering process so that the critical part is loaded first, and then the other things can load much faster. You can do those kind of stuff. But fully loaded is essentially when all of those files are loaded, which takes 8 seconds. And obviously, once the user starts seeing something on the site, they don't get frustrated. They are more willing to wait, and so you can load those unnecessary component much later. So coming back to the bouncy castle analogy, essentially what you want to do is to have the bouncy castle structure first, so users can go up there and start bouncing. They don't care if there's flag up there. They don't care all this accessory stuff. All those stuff you can lead them to load later or render later. What you want to do is really show the user a critical part of your website structure so that they will stay there and they feel like, oh, the website is loading quite fast. And to give you a good benchmark, Amazon loads less than 1 second, 0.9, 0.7, depending on when you test it, but they really do a good job on start render time. Their load time isn't that fast. Okay, again, like I explained, load time is essentially when all the files get there, and then it's not necessarily what the user starts seeing. So hopefully that gives you a bit of taste of how you can use these numbers to make your website faster. I do plan to make some more videos about how to improve your website speed, and using real examples. My website are based on WordPress. So we'll use different plugins, test it out, and show you how we can improve the website speed. So if you like this video, or if you have any comments, please leave it underneath. This video is gonna be on YouTube, and of course, please visit digitalradiomarketing.com to check my website out. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.